Hi guys, my name is Attorney Jasmine Sanchez Dorval. I practice immigration, education law, and personal injury here in Orlando, Florida. And every now and then I'll be doing videos with regards to current events, which is something we'll discuss today, as well as legal tips and answering your basic legal questions with regards to the fields that I practice in. So you'll want to be on the lookout for those Facebook Live videos that will be coming up where we'll be discussing immigration, education, and personal injury law. So today I want to discuss with you a recent event that happened here in Orlando, which I learned about on Thursday night, I believe, or Friday night on Mr. Shaun King's page. So there's a little girl by the name of Kaya Rolls, 6 years old, who had a temper tantrum at school. And while she was having this temper tantrum, the staff members tried to restrain her. During that process, she kicked the staff member, and the school resource officer called the Orlando Police Department to have this little girl arrested. Yes, you heard that right, she was arrested. She was transferred to the Juvenile Assessment Center where she was fingerprinted and had her mugshot taken and was facing misdemeanor battery charges, according to her grandmother, Marilyn Kirkland. Now, this particular case upset me deeply. Miss Kirkland said that she was trying to explain to the principal that her granddaughter suffers from sleep apnea. And the principal's response, "I have sleep apnea and I don't act like that." Aside from the impropriety of that statement, we ought to know and understand that sleep deprivation can affect children differently than it does adults. But there are also some questions of protocol here. The school resource officer did not get authorization to have this child picked up. I also understand that he had another child who was also 6 years of age, a boy, arrested that same day. So there's also implications with regards to special needs, right? Because the grandmother says she suffered from sleep apnea. Has the school had reason to understand that she was suffering from what could possibly be a disability or something that requires an accommodation? Has she been evaluated? Is the school in keeping with the Individuals with Disability Education Act, or Section 504 of the American Disabilities Act? So there's just a lot of legal questions that come about. And like I said, I have 5 children myself, one of whom does have a disability, and another one who's 5 years old. And so she's very close in age to Miss Kaya. So to think that someone would see a child have a temper tantrum and think to arrest this child is beyond me. I stayed up all night just fuming over the situation. If you've been following my Facebook page, you've been seeing the posts that I've been making with regards to this. If you haven't been following my Facebook page, now's a good time to start, right? So the state attorney here in Orlando today, or was it yesterday, did a press statement where she said that she was not going to be prosecuting either of the children, right? Which is awesome, amazing. I want to give credit where it's due. State Attorney Maris Ayala, she is the first Black state attorney in the state of Florida. And it just goes to show to me, you know, she mentioned that she would not have any part in the school to prison pipeline, which is something that you don't typically hear coming from prosecutors, right? People don't even tend to acknowledge it. Nevertheless, here we have this African-American woman who is standing up for justice, and she is in a position to decide which cases she is going to prosecute as the state attorney, and she decided this is not a case worth prosecuting. She did not want to criminalize these babies, and that's exactly how I feel. We see kids in the stores have temper tantrums all the time. You don't see the store manager calling the police. Some parents choose to coddle their children. There's this very viral video of a father who took his child outside and just told her she could cry it out and he was going to ignore her. There are different approaches to it, but calling the police should be the last thing on somebody's mind for a 6-year-old child who doesn't present a real threat. Now, like I said, we didn't have video footage, or if they do have it, it hasn't been released with regards to what actually took place, but just based on the facts that have been released, she was having a temper tantrum, she suffers from sleep apnea, and she kicked somebody while they were trying to restrain her. It doesn't sound like it warrants a little girl being arrested and branded a criminal, getting a criminal record. So Miss Maris Ayala also, when she was elected or appointed, she later said that she was not going to be prosecuting or seeking the death penalty in any of her cases, forcing Governor Rick Scott to assign cases to someone else. There was a legal battle over it. But what I'm saying here is that, you know, she also was the first to prosecute an Orlando officer in decades. What I'm saying here is that it might just be a coincidence, but we have an African-American state attorney who is taking who is taking a stand on issues that affect the people. And so I give her a lot of respect, as well as Shaun King, who has been doing this campaign, this justice campaign. I believe it's called Real Justice, where he's telling people to elect African Americans so that they can reflect the demographic of the population that they serve, which is very important, as we see in this case, very important. I would like to know how you guys feel about it. The charges have been dismissed, so there will be no charges against these children. The officer who did had these children arrested broke protocol because he did not seek the approval of his supervisor first, and so he has been terminated. He no longer works for the school, and I see that there was swift justice in this case. And I honestly say that I personally, as a resident of Orlando, am satisfied with what I've seen here. Are you satisfied? Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Make sure to tune in to future videos.